Alright, so we're out working with Chip here. We're going to practicing first leave it, and then the second would be to drop it. Now with leave it, we want him to refocus off of whatever item that he's interested in and redirect back to us and add in some recall. The reason why we want him to refocus is because it'll make it a lot easier for him to control himself if he's paying attention to us as opposed to, whatever it is that he would like to get to. And then the reason why we add in recall, good boy, is because if he is further away from whatever it is that he's interested in, it'll also help with, good boy, not only ping ponging, but also, once again, his self control. Usually, what ends up happening is if we're right next to somebody, come, good boy, right next to something that he's interested in, he'll just stay interested and you have to go back and forth, which is good for practice. But in reality, when you're working out in public with something that you don't want him to get into, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need him to move away from it back to you as well. So that's why we kind of practice both in the same thing. So that's going to be leave it. And then the next part is going to be drop it. That's going to be separate because it'll be already when he has something in his possession or in his mouth, and will prompt him to let go of it in exchange for a reward. The reason why you don't want to just try to pull something out of his mouth is because then it'll trigger his natural tendency to bite down harder, to maintain it, or good boy, or he might start thinking that you're playing tug with him instead. You definitely don't want to play that game in that instance. So we have him let go of the item himself, and the way that we usually do that is with a hand gesture or command combined with the leave it, and then for a reward, sometimes you have to work backwards and show him the reward first to help entice him to leaving it. But eventually, we want him to, just like with any other command, we want him to execute the command first without, a treat or something in sight, and then feel rewarded for it. Just depends on the pup, and then it also depends on the value of the treat, right, or whatever he has in his mouth or in his possession. Good boy. All right. So we're gonna start by walking into the circle here. Good boy. Up, up. Stay. 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 Good boy. And we've got different toys all around that he's interested in, as well as some food. Now it'll be important. Leave it. Leave it. Come. Come. Good boy. Yes. Now it'll be important, especially when there's food involved. Good boy. Thank you. When there's food involved, that you make sure that it's something that if you do mess up during training, that it's not going to hurt him. Like, don't practice with chocolate or onions or anything like that. And also, it helps to have something that he actually would like to get to. So right now, what we have in here are peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, as well as a piece of string cheese. Good boy. Good. So now that he is kind of sitting and staying, or laying down now and staying, what I'm going to do, stay, stay, stay. What I want to do is reward him for it by bringing him something so he doesn't feel like when he wants something, he has to go get it. What we want him to do is want something, pay attention to us, listen to us, and he'll get rewarded by getting that item. Wait, wait, boy, wait. Good boy. Okay. And this way we can reward his self-control and his obedience with the toy that he was interested in. Of course, if you're practicing with things that you want him to leave that's not a toy, you of course would just use treats instead to reward him. I wouldn't give him the remote to chew on or anything like that. But back at home, you want a combination of toys and things that you want him to leave alone, so that way you'll be able to kind of work with both. Shoes, remotes, anything of high value. Um, it's going to be a good practice tool for him, so that way he can learn one at a time what he can play with and what he cannot. And sometimes that can take a really long time because he's just kind of interested in new things in general. And so maybe when you do get a new piece of gear in or some new shoes, it would be a great time then and there to practice this exercise. So now that he's kind of chewing on it, I'm going to go ahead and get a treat in my hand. Good. Good. Good boy. And now I'm going to wait for him to go back. So he knows that I have something, but I'm going to wait for him to go back to chewing on it. And then I'm going to ask him to drop it. He might be too fixated now. Here you go. Good boy. We'll try again. Good boy. So now that he's got something in his mouth, I'm going to hold my hand the same way like I did when I had the treat. Good boy. Drop it. He's already kind of dropped it because he saw my hand. And then I'm going to reach into the pouch and give him a reward. Good boy. All right. We'll wait again. We'll let him play for a bit. Good boy. You'll want to, of course, practice to drop it with his toys and not anything of value. Unless it is a shoe or something that's not going to get easily broken, then you can also practice with that as well. I just wouldn't do it with anything fragile or electronic. Chip, drop it. Yes, good boy. Good. Good boy. Stay. Stay. Chip, come. Leave it. Good boy. Yes. Good job. Perfect. Good. Get his leash here. Come. And definitely at first you'll want to practice with a leash. You can use a longer leash eventually, but the reason why you want to practice with a leash is so that way in case he doesn't listen to you and disobeys, he won't get rewarded for it, right? We definitely don't want him to ignore our command and then get whatever it was that he was interested on his own, thus negatively reinforcing that behavior, right? If you had the leash, you can, hold him back. You can tug to correct him. I also have the anti-bark collar on him, so we could also use that as well, right? I'll show you how that would work. He's interested in the person over there. Chip, leave it. Leave it. Come. Yes, good boy. Very good. You like that toy, huh, bud? You ready? Go get it. See if he picks it up. Good boy. There you go. And we'll practice drop it. Okay, drop. Chip, drop. Yes, good boy. Very good. Good job. Good boy. Go ahead. This is an easier way of teaching him to release instead of just trying to pull it out of his mouth as well, because if he listens to you and he releases it and then you give it back to him, it also teaches him that it might just be temporary, that he has to release something, right? And he gets rewarded and he might get it back, which is always good because that'll just make the choice the decision that he makes easier when you ask him to leave it or drop it, sorry. Oh, we got a kid playing soccer behind us. Chip, good boy. It's a good distraction. Chip, I know you want to play. Good boy. There you go. Come, come. Yes. Good. Leave it. Yes. Come. Good boy. Come. 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 Up, up. And sit. Sit. Good boy. There you go. And that's how you can use the toys and things to your advantage as well. It just gives them something else to be interested in. Okay. You can do this exercise too with pups. I wish I had also higher value treats because that'll really help. Good boy, come. Come. Sit. Good boy. Go get it. Yeah. This way it'll give him an opportunity to get used to the kids here playing and getting distracted temporarily. Good boy, come. Come. Yes. Good boy. Good listen. Good. Good job. There you go. Good boy. Good. And this is part of the desensitizing part, right? So our job here is to get him used to seeing the kids playing and redirecting him so that way it's not too hard and he stays fixated the whole time. Come. Yes, good boy. Go ahead. There you go. Now this time, the kicking and the moving of the ball makes it incredibly difficult too. I wanted to do this all in one cut, so we'll see how long they're going to be out here playing for. Um, we'll just go ahead and try moving on to the next exercise, which is going to be him walking by. Good boy. Him walking by food and stuff. Good boy. This way. Yes, good boy. Good. Come. The way that we'll work on this is I'll show him the higher value food again because he does not recognize it at all because he's so fixated on the kids. But that's okay. It might actually make things easier as well. Hey. Yes, good boy. Hey. Nope, it's too much. Hey, what's that? Wait. Leave it. Come. Yes, good boy. And keep the leash nice and loose so we know that he's doing it on his own accord, right? But be ready with the leash in case you need to use it for anything. I was gonna ask him to drop it, but then he let go on his own. And now he's kind of getting used to both here again. Hey, good boy. Yes. Leave it. Leave it. Oh, he's going towards the kid. Leave it. Good. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. you, you, you want to play soccer, huh, bud? Come here. Leave it. Chip. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Huh? Good boy. Yes. Good. There you go. And these things can take some time, but so long as you're persistent, it allows him the opportunity to get used to seeing the kids kicking around the ball. Okay? And if he does start to overreact, the bark collar will help. And then we can also help him by giving him something else to do or focus on by moving around. Good boy. But I'm going to try to walk by. And then as soon as he's interested in the food, we'll ask him to leave it. See if we need to use the leash or if he's able to kind of leave it on his own accord. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Almost. He's excited. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Good boy. So the kids are helping. Good boy. But if you're at home, what I would do is just the same exercise, but with your lunch or whatever it is that you're going to eat, and just take a minute, anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes, to practice with him leaving the food on the countertop, and then rewarding him. And then when you're ready and he's behaving well, either giving him a bone or putting him in his crate, so that way you can enjoy your meal without having to worry and watch him. I would do that for at least maybe a week or two. With the pups that I trained that stayed just for a leave it exercise, it took about a week of practice for me to be able to just kind of get up and leave the food at the table, and they were able to kind of leave it alone even without me nearby, right? Um, right now he's a little bit too distracted with the kids, so I don't know exactly how difficult it would be, but he listens pretty well inside too. But what I'll usually do is I'll get some food out, I'll put it on the counter, and then I'll practice with him. And then once he gets to the point where he's doing it by himself, then I'll go ahead and put him up in his crate, and usually that's when I'll also feed him, is when I'm eating myself, and then release him as well. Good boy, stay. Come. There you go, get your ball. So this might also be a good opportunity to adjust the level of the anti-bark collar, because it's a really exciting situation for him. The bark collar is not enough to get him to stop, right, or distract him in any way. So what I'll do here is I'll get my phone out, And we'll turn up the numbers on the shock collar until he actually responds to it. And that way we'll also know in these much higher situations that it'll be effective. Okay. And so we want to do that in conjunction with him getting used to them playing. Leave it. Good boy. Had to help him out there with the leash, but that's why I got it on at first. Oh, you sneezy bud. Okay, hold on. Maybe we should wait first. Okay, there you go. So what I'll do is just walk by the food again. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Dang. Well, that's what you're looking for, is for him to look at the food and then you give the command to leave it. He refocuses back onto you and then comes to you for a reward. Let's try this again. Come here, bud. Good boy. Okay, so we'll go by this one here. Leave it. Yes, good job. Leave it. Oh, knocked it. Wait. Leave it. Come. Come. Good boy. Okay, let's try walking by this one. Leave it. Yes. Good boy. Good job, big guy. All right. Oh, sorry about the interruptions and the kids, but I think it's actually good social practice for him too. He's just really excited with him playing with the soccer ball and everything, but he's settling back down now. Good boy. You tired yourself out? Huh? We'll see if we get to practice drop it one more time before I cut the video short. Leave it? Okay, there you go. There you go. That works. Good boy. Oh, okay. Get your toy. Get it. Come here. Good boy. So we'll play some tug with him, get him engaged and interested. And you can see that's also another good way to get him off the fixation from the kids and the ball playing, even though they're still right there playing, which is good. And it might be a lot to take this setup with the elevated bed and a couple toys to the pet store, but that's what I would do as well. We'll see if I have time maybe tomorrow, and it'll hopefully be busier to set it up to see if that helps. Good boy. Good job. Leave it. Good boy. Hey, come up. Stay. Don't want to let go in case they kick the ball over here. Leave it. Leave it. And this is the same practice like we were talking about before in the text messages with your food. Leave it. Yes, good boy. And since it is just lunch, we'll reward him for his patience too. You don't even want it? Do you not like peanut butter? There you go. Some cheese. Leave it. Good boy. Chip, come. Oh, we'll let him get that one. Chip, come. Good boy. Good job. Wait. Good boy. Good wait. Good boy. Okay, go ahead. Depending on what you're eating too, this part is of course going to be different. And like I said, usually what I would do with my regular dinner is practice with real food, with leave it, um, and then give him his own food in his crate, or like a bone or something, or a high valued chew. Leave it. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Come. Good job. See if we can get him to drop again. You ready? Yeah. Chip. Oh, okay. Come here. I'm tired, big guy. Good boy. There you go. Get it. Get it. Nice. Not too interested. There you go. See if you wait. There we go. Oh, good boy. Okay. Oh. Drop. Drop. Yes, good boy. Good job, big guy. All right.